Are you tired of the endless cycle of earning and spending, feeling like you're always just treading water? This video isn't about getting rich quick. It's about becoming debt-proof and genuinely free. We're going to show you how living off the grid isn't just for survivalists, but a powerful financial strategy that redefines what it means to be wealthy in 2026. Most people imagine freedom as a bigger paycheck, a better car, or finally upgrading to the house they've always wanted. They picture wealth as accumulation. More income, more assets, more comfort. But what if real independence doesn't come from owning more? What if it comes from needing less? When people hear the phrase living off the grid, they imagine isolation. A cabin in the woods. No internet. No connection to the modern world. That image misses the point entirely. This isn't about disappearing from society. It's about stepping off the consumer grid, the system that quietly keeps people working non-stop just to maintain an expensive life they never consciously chose. And once you see that system clearly, your entire definition of money changes. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have practical ways to fix this. And if you want more clear, no-nonsense money thinking, subscribe to Financial Motivation. Modern life is designed to look normal while being financially exhausting. You're encouraged to buy first and think later. Upgrade your phone even though the old one works. Finance the car because everyone does. Stretch the mortgage because real estate always goes up. Individually, none of these choices feel reckless. That's what makes the trap so effective. A typical household doesn't feel irresponsible, it feels busy. Bills stack up quietly. Rent or mortgage, utilities, internet, streaming subscriptions, car payments, insurance, fuel, food, delivery, clothing, small conveniences that don't seem significant in the moment. But when you add it all together, most people aren't broke. They're overcommitted. Debt becomes normalized. It's marketed as a tool, a shortcut, a way to enjoy life now. What isn't advertised is the emotional cost. Debt removes flexibility. It turns every paycheck into survival money. It forces people to tolerate jobs they hate because walking away feels impossible. Stress becomes background noise. Anxiety feels normal. And the worst part, people blame themselves, not the system. Here's the shift most people miss. Living off the grid isn't about geography. It's about intentional dependence. I've seen this mindset show up in very different lives. There's the urban minimalist living in a modest apartment who owns no car, has no consumer debt, and keeps monthly expenses under control by design. Their income doesn't need to be huge because their baseline cost of living is low. There's the tiny home couple who chose less square footage and more freedom. No oversized mortgage, minimal utilities, simple maintenance. They traded status for stability. There are digital nomads who realized something critical. When you're not anchored to high fixed expenses, you don't need a massive income to live well. They optimize flexibility instead of luxury. Different environments, same philosophy. They stopped asking, how can I afford more? They started asking, what do I actually need? That question changes everything. When you study people who achieve freedom early, not flashy wealth, but real independence, a pattern appears. They deliberately move away from consumerism and toward self-reliance. Not in extreme ways, but in practical ways. They question purchases instead of defaulting to them. They reduce fixed expenses instead of inflating income endlessly. They design lives that don't require constant earning to maintain. This isn't deprivation. It's control. And once you experience control over your expenses, money stops feeling like a threat. Here's where the math becomes powerful. Every bill you eliminate is permanent income. Someone installs solar panels. Their electricity bill drops close to zero. That's not just savings. That's guaranteed cash flow for decades. Someone grows part of their own food. Grocery costs drop dramatically. More importantly, food inflation becomes less threatening. Someone learns basic repair, skills plumbing, electronics, simple carpentry. Suddenly, breakdowns aren't emergencies, they're inconveniences. This is the shift from consumer to producer. Instead of paying for solutions, you become capable of solving problems yourself. That capability compounds. A $500 monthly expense eliminated is the same as earning thousands more per year accepted as tax-free, predictable, and permanent. Living intentionally exposes how much money leaks out through convenience. Utilities you don't question. Transportation costs you accept as unavoidable. Entertainment subscriptions that quietly renew. When people reduce dependence on systems, savings appear everywhere. Lower utility bills. Fewer vehicle expenses. Minimal entertainment spending because time replaces consumption. This isn't about living without joy. It's about shifting joy away from spending. Here's a truth rarely discussed in personal finance. Skills create freedom faster than assets. A new gadget depreciates, a new skill compounds. Learning how to fix, build, grow, write, design, consult, or create gives you leverage that no purchase can replicate. People who live closer to the edge of self-reliance don't panic during uncertainty. They adapt. They can earn in multiple ways. They can reduce expenses when income fluctuates. They're not dependent on perfect conditions to survive. In 2026, this matters more than ever. This lifestyle only works when paired with structure. First, eliminate high-interest debt aggressively, not eventually, not slowly, ruthlessly. Debt undermines every attempt at independence. Second, build a real emergency fund. 6 months of survival-level expenses. When your expenses are intentionally low, this becomes far more achievable than most people realize. Third, diversify income streams modestly. Not get-rich-quick schemes, just options. Freelance work, digital skills, small cash flow assets. Income that doesn't depend entirely on one employer. The goal isn't luxury. The goal is resilience. Here's the moment where everything flips. When you reduce expenses, your freedom number collapses. You don't need millions to be free. You need expenses low enough that income becomes flexible. When enough is small, independence arrives early. That's the quiet secret behind off-grid thinking. It compresses time. What takes others decades becomes possible in years. This is what no spreadsheet can capture. When your bills are low, time returns to you. You stop working just to survive. You stop accepting stress as the price of adulthood. You stop measuring success by busyness. You choose projects instead of obligations. You choose rest without guilt. You choose people without financial pressure. And something unexpected happens. Your confidence increases not because you have more money, but because you know you'll be okay even if things change. That's real security. When people live this way, it doesn't stay private. Others notice the calm, the lack of panic during downturns. The freedom to say no. It challenges the idea that success must look a certain way, and slowly, it gives others permission to question the script. Living off the grid isn't about rejecting modern life. It's about refusing to be controlled by it. Real financial freedom doesn't come from earning endlessly. It comes from designing a life that doesn't demand endless earning. Once you understand that, wealth stops being a number and starts being a choice. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more ideas on how to build a life of real freedom. Comment below. What part of the rat race are you trying to escape right now?